All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Gonna see if it's local search and it's city search. Gonna see if either of them or both of them have BSS. Now we're here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our graph here, our FSIC graph in white down below. Highest intent peeps on the left. These people searching, boudoir photo shoot in their city today, right now. We talk about how to get these people to come to us in our videos here about BSS. These people discover us, come to us, buy from us. These are highest converting, closest to the money. We gotta dominate these people. Then we have on the right, lowest intent peeps. We talked about interfacing with these peeps at our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And talk about BLCS over there. And currently we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. That's when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 in Google. 0 slots, that's a fast death. That means we're on page 2 or deeper. And we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So yeah, they're page 1 and done searches, never even hit page 2. That's no bueno. Also 1 slot on page 1, Google, that's not good either because there's 10 organic slots. It means there's probably gonna be 9 other boudoir photographers each with 1 slot. So guess what? We look the same as everyone else. We ain't standing out. We're not dominating. And as a result, what's approximately 80% of boudoir buyers gonna do? They're going to click down everyone on page 1, and page 1 only, because remember, approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So everyone down page 1, open everyone up, do a contact form for everyone, get a price quote, negotiate, bring down the margins, get more for less, blah, blah, blah. Waste time, and 9 out of 10 of those contact forms ain't even going to buy from us. So, only probably 10% will buy. So, like both these situations, 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google, our business is either dying fast or dying slow, but in both cases it's dying. And 0, 1 slots to page 1 Google is not normal. It's common and it's accepted, but it's not normal to have such a small number of page 1 links on Google. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, most people know this. People upgrade their iPhones all the time, get new cameras all the time, and eventually more peeps are throwing up their Google My Business profiles, and they now shoot boudoir. Throwing up their website saying they do boudoir photography. They post more often in the mom groups on Facebook saying they do boudoir photo shoots. Everyone understands it's kind of natural, it gets more and more competitive over time. Now this new one is the false belief of page 1 equality. This is new, but because a lot of boudoir photographers basically kind of without thinking, kind of everyone is auto-accepted. They're like, yeah, as a boudoir photographer, my website will get, I get either 0 or 1 slots, page 1 on Google. If I get 1, cool. If I get 0, cool. And maybe I had page 1 on Google, but now I'm on page 2 of Google. So I'm not on page 1 anymore. And it's like, oh, well, that's simply the game. But no, that's 100% incorrect. That is the false belief of page 1 equality in action. What's actually true is Google actually give us as many slots on page 1 of Google search as we want, or as we want to put in, as we put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days with this new method we discovered. Finally, we know that boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Yeah, I mean, if you got 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google search, you're either disappearing fast or disappearing slow. Both cases were disappearing, and this is kind of like a red flag, a warning light, canary in the coal mine, or basically, if we are a disappearing boudoir photographer, that means our business is now on the path to disappearing as well. But thankfully, we now have a solution. Discover that BSS boudoir search sameness is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. And it works exactly as the word said, as the title says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there. And that's kind of like snowing, raining at the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America, the east side, the backside there. So when that happens, well, it's mostly going to be snow. That snow melts year round. That water flows into small streams and eventually small rivers. And that all flows into the large Amazon River. So the Amazon River is page 1 Google search. So we gotta get the snow at the top of the mountain, saturate social search, to then get stuff to flow down to the Amazon River, page 1 Google search. That's basically how that's how it works. And what's interesting about this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually allow the business to still continue to grow, even with current market saturation and growing market saturation, and give them the opportunity relatively quickly. Now, the only other solution I've seen give those same benefits are having a large, well-known brand. But dude, we ain't. Those take 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI is here. AI is taking people jobs. We do not have 5 to 10 years. So, building a large, well-known brand, that ain't happening anytime soon. But interestingly, with S-Cube methodology, yeah, we can get some kind of initial more market share, more page one Google slots, all stuff like that, kick our competitors off. But by my estimates, it actually enables the building of a large, well-known brand in the area, in the local area, city, approximately 8x faster than traditional methods, simply because we're being seen across so many more surfaces with a higher volume of time, So it's kind of just natural to build a large, well-known brand approximately 8x faster. And all right, here's an example of what S-Cube methodology could enable for a boudoir photography business. So we are going to Fairbanks, Alaska, and there are 1 million boudoir photographers there. We are one of them. And we got, we literally, everyone's got their websites and they shoot boudoir, they're boudoir photographers. Everyone's trying to rank page one Google search. They're like, man, we ain't got, a large, well-known brand right now. The only, S-Cube methodology, literally, that's the only way that we can compete. So let's say we take S-Cube methodology, we crank it up to the max, and let's say we take the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords across all of social search, and let's say that flows onto Google search for this highest intent boudoir buyer keywords as well for our city, and we're taking the first 300 slots on Google. So, 10 organic slots per page on Google. So that means we'd be taking up essentially 30 pages. So basically, anyone in our area searching anything related to boudoir photography or boudoir photo shoot in their city. I mean, we're basically the only ones showing up. Social search, Google search, we're basically the only ones that they're seeing. So whose business is most likely growing in this situation? Ours. Whose business most likely failing, disappearing, becoming invisible? Most likely our, the 999,909 other boudoir photographer competitors that are in Fairbanks with us. So again, this is like ultra extreme example, but this is what S-Cube methodology could enable in, kind of in the most extreme case. Now, once you're with S-Cube methodology, we have page one visibility, P1V. And so yeah, we're getting more slots page one on Google, like that initial benefit. And then a lot of boudoir photographers actually, their favorite's the second benefit, where every new link we get page one slot on Google, we're actually kicking our competitor off page one Google, putting them page two or deeper, and now we know they're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace, and putting their business on the path to disappearing. So we could literally, by our effort, we can control how many of our competitors actually go, kind of go on the path to disappearing, simply based on our effort. And so it's like it's a fan favorite for boudoir photographers of initial benefit that they can get with S-Cube's methodology. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. And the GBC universe recommends having a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search as kind of the minimum baseline recommendation, because basically everyone else can have one slot, page one Google search. So if we got 3 slots, we're dominating them. And in the ultra rare case, someone has 2 slots. We got 3, so we're still dominating them. So that's where the 3 out of 10 recommendation comes from. And we also know that boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. So we got our entire universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, either 0 or 1 slots page one Google search, is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality, which we'll see in the next picture. We discovered we know for a fact it's a false belief. And we achieve page one visibility. Well, we utilize S-Cube methodology to solve that. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. So it's basically our micro universe here. Now here's some results. So this is what I want to super rank for this term, BLCS boudoir. I want to dominate, take over page one Google search. And so I went to work using SQ methodology. So let's see these are the results of what I got. So we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. And finally, slot 10, me. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days purely by using SQ methodology. So if someone's searching this term, who are they clicking on? Who are they coming to? Obviously me. Now, main event here. Going to check out this boudoir photography business. We're going to see local search Greentown, Indiana, and city search Kokomo, Indiana. See if we got BSS for any of these. So let's go Greentown, Indiana. All right, Greentown, Indiana. So we got cooking here. So, oh, we got an AI overview. All right. Yeah, we'll count that one. This is actually what we want. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, this is what we want to get. Nice. So, yeah, we'll count that as one. We got 2. We got 3. We got 4. All right, we got 4 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google. We do not have BSS. And we've met the GBC recommend minimum for 3 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google. That's the first boudoir photographer I've seen actually successfully acquire the AI overview for one that I've actually searched. So that's local, Greentown, Indiana. I'll look at city, Kokomo, Indiana. Maybe it's the closest city, who knows? Somewhere around there. And let's see. All right. All right, we are at 0 out of 10 for city, Kokomo, Indiana. So our 4 out of 10 local, 0 out of 10 city. So we got BSS for the city. And we did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search for our city. All right, so if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local search or city search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, you're seeing you got either 0 or 1 slots there, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google, and you've accepted that page 1 equality is a false belief. The false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. You're seeing that Google actually give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And you're actually seeing that SQ methodology is the only way forward, the only solution for you that can fix this. And you've been waiting for something like this because the ads, Google PPC, give you a best 1 extra slot, but momentum dies once you stop spending. These do have some momentum that does continue, not infinitely, but these do have momentum. And you like the initial benefits, more slots page 1 on Google. You really like the second initial benefit, kicking your competitors off page 1 on Google, relegating them to page 2, and effectively rendering them invisible to approximately 80% of boudoir buyers that are using Google search. And you understand the market saturation. Yeah, more peeps get new gear, more boudoir photographers enter the market. Got it. But you're also looking ahead and seeing, man, AI is taking people's jobs right now. AI is going to be taking more and more people's jobs right now. Last time that happened, COVID, big influx of boudoir photographers happened as a result of that in COVID. So you're realizing, oh man, actually a much bigger wave than before has come to boudoir photography. Way more boudoir photographers. And you have decided that, man, you actually need to fortify your position on page 1. You literally need to have so many links, backups to the backup links on Google that they can't rank all your links on page 1, and they stand like, page 2, 3, 4, because Google wants to put them on page 1, but now there's no more room. And you basically need to fortify your page 1 position to essentially guarantee no current competitors rank on page 1, and certainly no new competitors that come in from AI taking their jobs can rank on page 1. So you're seeing all that, and fortifying, kind of like fortifying the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because the city is below sea level. And you're seeing SQ methodology is also the only solution for boudoir photographers that can do that. And you want to achieve page 1 visibility to become a visible boudoir photographer and achieve boudoir search visibility, because you understand you need to acquire these things, do all these things on your path to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. You also like the future benefits of utilizing S-cube methodology now, which we've not talked about yet, but every day we successfully execute S-cube methodology, we are essentially creating these invisible thematic keyword columns that, plug into our brand, our name, our website, associated with it, kind of out there in cyberspace, digital space, that actually means backend AI mindshare. We increase our backend AI mindshare for all these terms based on frequency, repetition, authority, age, relevance, and every single day we do this, it increases the probability we actually will get recommended for AI overview. So we're kind of building these thematic, keyword clusters, invisible thematic keyword columns all around associated with our brand, our handles, everything about us. And AI can parse this. So we're increasing the probability of this, we're increasing the probability we also show up AI search, standard AI search, which is, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. Increase the probability we are showing up in all these searches as an, when people use their AI search. And yeah, Google's approximately 90% of global search, but dude, AI search is increasing every single day. And when I last did an AI search searching for boudoir photographers, I searched the city. ChatGPT gave me only 3. So I actually went and looked manually for, basically on Google and on Facebook, how many there are out there, and there's like 60. So it's like, man, we need every possible way to get recommended AI search if there's only 3 slots. And your CNS key methodology is the only solution that can give you the best, that can allow you to do that. And you understand that my current plan is to work with only one boudoir photographer per city. So what you've realized is you decide to become the first mover in your city, get that first mover advantage, kick out all your other boudoir photographer competitors, prevent them from using this strategy. You get all the benefits, more slots page 1, more people kicked off page 1 to page 2, effectively making them visible to approximately 80% of the market. Higher chance of fortifying your position on page 1, so nobody can ever rank on page 1 besides you. Higher chance recommended AI search, higher chance recommended standard, or recommended AI overview and recommended standard AI search. Approximately 8x faster in building a large, well-known brand because you'll be seen across so many different surfaces. And building up a massive gap, kind of AI back-end AI mindshare momentum gap between your competitors in your city with all of these, invisible thematic keyword columns attached to your brand. And you understand the converse. If another boudoir photographer hopped on this, decided to go with me first, they would get all those benefits. You would actually be forced off page 2, and potentially you'd be forced off page 1, potentially also forced off page 2, and page 3 and deeper. Man, there definitely basically no one going that deep. And you'd be losing that AI mindshare. Your competitor would be recommended again, above and against you instead of you. You would be losing those slots, losing all that mindshare in the marketplace. And more boudoir photographers are entering every day, so you'd actually be worse and worse for you every single day. And this means your competitor would be growing a gap between you every single day. You'd have to actually go rederive, or actually drive for the first time S-cube methodology for yourself. And then you would have to go execute it, equal amount of execution as us every single day. And then once that happens, you're simply maintaining the gap that me and your competitor would have already built up against relative to you. So you're just maintaining the gap. So you'd have to actually outwork us 2 or 3x every single day to actually start to get some of your links on page 1 and go pull that back into AI mindshare back towards your brand for all these invisible thematic keyword columns. But during all this, you're still not even 100% confident you've derived S-cube methodology correctly in the first place. So probably wouldn't be putting in 2 to 3x our effort into it, doing it yourself. And the second thing is, who's got 80 hours per day to do all this? So after hearing all that, you're like, screw that. I'm definitely being the first mover and adopter in my city, blocking out everyone else from using this. And as a result, we are, so if that's you, shoot me a DM. My DMs are currently closed because the hospital is currently closed to new patient intake. And then when we do open the hospital for new patient intake, shoot us a DM then, and we will see if you qualify to utilize our S-Cubes methodology.